Are all affairs this intense so quickly? I am a 34 male and have been married for almost 9 years. We have a 13-month-old son. My wife is my best friend, and we are still having sex, though not as frequently as before, baby. I sometimes feel like we are roommates, co-parenting. Admittedly, I have not taken to fatherhood in the way I was hoping, and a lot of parenting tasks fall on my wife. 7 weeks ago, I started an affair with a married co-worker who has 3 kids. First affair for both. This co-worker is well-liked, and I find her attractive. She started paying me extra attention, coming into my office regularly, hugging me before I left for the day. I invited her to walk together on lunch, and she took me up on it that day. During these walks, she would mostly vent about her home life, troubles with her kids and husband. She would tell me how nice and sweet I was for listening to her. She made me feel really good. I also liked that a lot of people seemingly like her, and here she was, paying attention to me. She would grab my hand during these walks. The following Monday she worked. I did not. I asked if she still wanted to meet up to walk. She did, and I kissed her at the end of the walk. It's been full throttle since then. After I kissed her, we had sex for the first time 3 days later. We have been having sex during lunch breaks at work. And when we are not working, I make up elaborate stories to see her. Like helping my brother hang a TV? It's all been very intense. 2 weeks after we started being together, she would drop weird things, like I'm in love with a married man. She asked that I not refer to my wife as my wife, because it is super triggering for her, and that it makes it sound like she is the side piece. She is very against using an app to communicate because that screams affair we do, but she complains about it often. A week after having sex for the first time, she found a conference for me to go to so we could spend actual time together for 3 nights. We went after being together for 4 weeks. It was a disaster. She was drinking and smoking cigarettes the entire time. One night my wife called to say goodnight, so I stepped away to take the call. When I did so, AP stormed off, and I came back to find AP talking to some dude at the bar. That same night she messaged me on regular iMessage instead of the usual app we used because she forgot. She told me she loved me on this trip, and I said it back, though I do not think that is true. I love the way she makes me feel, and definitely love having sex with her. On the way back from the trip, she kept going on how I have to promise I will never leave her for my wife. When we got back into town, she almost forgot one of her scarves in my car, but I caught it before she shut the door. Additionally, I found one of her lipsticks in the door of my car that she had forgotten later on. Since getting back from the trip 2 weeks ago, it is like gasoline has been put on the fire. She needs a lot of reassurance and constant validation. If I am not at work with her, we message all the time, and if I don't reply to her quickly, she goes on about how I'm just leaving her for my wife, and she can take a hint. She has made statements like, "You're probably still sleeping next to your wife." I am. "You don't let your wife see you naked, do you?" I do. Things of this sort. She said that it's very important to see her every day, so I'm making up crazy excuses to get out of the house to see her. My wife is starting to ask questions. "Are you feeling okay? You've been in the bathroom a lot lately. Why didn't you dump the coffee?" I made just to go buy some and not drink it. "Why did it take so long to go to the store?" She has also complained that I've been really disconnected and not present while home. My AP's husband apparently saw our messages. She told him everything except who, and he is planning to move out. Since then, AP has been pressuring me to leave my wife, so we can be together for real. I have never said I wanted to do this, but I have gone along with some seriously declarations of true love. Never feeling like this about anyone. Nothing could be more perfect than her and what we have. AP keeps saying things like it'll be 6 months from now and you still won't have left your wife. The thing is, I never wanted to leave my wife, but since getting back from our trip, things have been so intense, and quite frankly, I've been an asshole to my wife, and then she gets upset, and I'm like, maybe I do want to leave my wife. All we do is fight. We have started to have some serious conversations about separation, and she is genuinely very concerned about me and where this is coming from, and is crying a lot about how our marriage and family is worth fighting for, and I can't just give up. Our last conversation, she told me that she wouldn't hear the word divorce until we actually tried. That's the first time she is hearing about a problem. She is also hearing about a divorce, and she wouldn't allow that to be how our family ends. I tell my AP some select parts of these conversations to get her off my back, so she can see things aren't so great at my house either. AP paints a really nice picture of what being together for real would look like. That I would still see my son 50% of the time, when she had her children. Though, she has 2 different fathers for her kids, and my son is still breastfed. And has literally never not been with my wife, except for the odd appointment here and there, and I would have him. And when we didn't have our kids, we could just be together doing whatever we wanted. AP thinks I should just tell my wife the truth, and that after some time my wife will be okay with it, and we can all get along. AP does not know my wife. My wife would cooperate amicably because she is a really good mom, and that would be what was best for our son. But it would be a cold day in hell before she lets AP sit at her table if she knew the actual start of our relationship. My wife is also not stupid. I just don't know what to do. Something's is going to give if I don't make some serious choices. AP is laying on the pressure and wife is asking me to keep trying. If she isn't suspicious yet, she will be soon. She has asked if there was someone else, but seemed to drop it. So, what is it, Reddit? Is my life about to explode? Update. About 6 months ago, I came to this sub looking for explanations of these reckless and intense feelings I was having for my then AP of 6 weeks. Her and I were mirroring each other, love bombing, future faking, the whole lot. The dopamine rush felt so good, I thought maybe I could feel like that all the time. Maybe I should peruse these feelings out into the real world. This sub dragged me pretty hard, and I was deserving of it. Many people made predictions of how it would all explode. That was AP, was crazy. That I was going to get caught, that I was an idiot, all of these true. While I was off in some fantasy world thinking how wonderful it would be to be with this person who seemed utterly obsessed with me, my now ex-wife was getting all her ducks in a row and presented me with divorce papers a few days following my post. My wife discovered my affair 2 weeks before she served me papers. She found out on her own. She was playing chess, while I was playing checkers. Many here suspected that my AP was going to blow it all up and tell my wife. And if more time had passed, I think she would have lied there discovered a lipstick and hair holder in my car that she left behind. And she called me on my phone number one night because she forgot we were using the app. Though, we had never talked outside of it before. So, yes, it was only a matter of time. The fallout and aftermath was pretty gruesome, and I knew immediately that I was going to try to reconcile with my wife. AP thought that since my wife found out that her and I were going to be together, when I informed her otherwise the next day she was late for her period. She later told me she miscarried. I do not know what story is true here. I do know that her husband was in contact with my wife, and he told my wife that he suspected she was intentionally trying to get pregnant as he saw her birth control and apparently hadn't been taking it for weeks. He also told my wife that when he saw this after discovery, she took a test in front of him and it was negative. AP was very unhappy with the way everything shook out, and to be fair, I told her I wanted to be with her. I just didn't think it would actually ever be a check I had to cash. There was a lot of drama. Work got involved, and AP was fired. She had some fireable behavior happening, and it is my belief that, when her husband called HR to report the affair, in the investigation the fireable offenses came to light, and work decided to make the problem go away by that reasoning. Also, I would like to make note that AP told on herself to her husband. She said she wanted a clean break, and told him everything, right down to my wife's address. AP could have rode off, scratch-free with him, none the wiser. I wasn't going to tell him, and my wife had decided against it because she wanted me safe, and my job safe, stating angry people make angry decisions. He later reached out to my wife, just to make her aware. Anyway, my wife gave me one chance in reconciliation with very clear boundaries and guidelines, and I squandered it away. AP called me, and I just couldn't not know why she was calling. It was a pointless phone call with no substance. I deleted the traces of it. Wife found out, and I lied. I came home from work to the locks changed, suitcases packed, and a hotel reservation taped to them. She remained steadfast on the road to divorce, since I came out of the affair fog and out of the protective bubble of the affair, and quickly realized that my relationship with AP was not based on any reality, and we had no actual real-world compatibility whatsoever. I put her on a pedestal, and idealized her. I'd got the best bits of her, and she'll me. When I really started to reflect on all of this, it was very clear to me that what I liked about AP had nothing to do with her, and everything to do with me. I liked that she made me feel sexy. I liked that she made me feel wanted and important, and I loved when she validated me, and I could do no wrong. I wasn't a bad guy for forgetting diapers on the way home. My wife was inconsiderate to ask me to do that after a long day. I don't agree with this. Just providing an example. I liked getting the dopamine hits from her, and I liked she was jealous of my wife, like I was a prize to be cherished. Now, I am divorced. Taking some time to work through some stuff in therapy. Focusing on trying to be a strong co-parent, and really lean into being a dad, a good one. My ex-wife was fair in the divorce, but she did not yield in the least. She will likely continue to be a stay-at-home mom until our son starts school. Even after custody is established at 50-50ths, he is still being breastfed, and I am not pushing early weaning. She has the marital home. And for some, I'm sure symbolic reason, insisted she'll have my car. I have a lease on a 2-bedroom apartment, paying alimony and child support, and now looking for a new car. I am doing okay, and every day is a little better, but today really sucks. What do you guys think? Let's discuss in the comments. Follow and like for more stories.